Hello everyone, welcome back to another installment of Life Stories. You know me, my name is Trent, and we've got more stories from the deep, dark depths of Reddit/entitledparents. So you know how it goes, buckle in, because we're getting started now. Our first story is titled, Bed Wars and Geometric Revenge. This happened back when I was in 5th grade, but I'm a junior in college now. And before you ask, my mom is not the entitled parent. Back in 5th grade, I was a different child. Yep, I was born with autism. So I didn't really see, nor do I today, the world like all of you handsome people do. I was loud, talkative, and didn't know what I was doing half the time. This was back when I had a bedtime and didn't control when I got to sleep, same as all the other kids. I was bragging to them that my bedtime was 11, and for once, I felt confident. I grew up with people making fun of me, or me not feeling like I belonged, so for that time, I felt perfectly normal. That was until my teacher heard me. For her, I'm gonna call her Kraken. You do not go to bed at 11. That's insane. No, I swear, I do go to bed at 11. Don't talk back to me. I'm going to call your mother when you're at lunch and confirm that you are a big liar. At this point, all the other kids started laughing at me, and I felt horrible. Little did I know of the fact World War III was about to take place. My parents are super cool, amazing parents that have been very accepting of me as I grew up. In their eyes, I wasn't autistic, I was just different. We were watching the news about how this teacher got fired for doing something illegal with a student, if you know what I mean, which is what led my mom to think of my crazy teachers growing up. She told me, I remembered them, and I decided to share the story here. You have the background. Now is when things get good. My mom will be called Harpoon. Hello, is this OP's mother? Yes, hello. What happened this time? Your son is spreading lies to all the kids in his class. About what? He claims he goes to bed every night at 11. He doesn't, but I don't know why that's your business. It's not right for him to tell lies to students, especially extreme ones like that. That's why I scolded him for it. I'm guessing around this time, my mom's vein began to pop from her head, because my dad said he could see her getting angry a few minutes after she picked up the phone. I'm sorry, you scolded my son for telling a harmless lie? It was not harmless. It was outrageous. What time does he normally go to bed? It's none of your business. I am his teacher. It is so my business. At this point, my mom just wanted the call to end. He goes to bed at 9. And it was at that point my class was returning from lunch, and I will never forget my teacher's "What?" from behind the closed classroom door. I was outside with my class, and we tried to figure out why she was so angry. That is way too late for him to be staying up. He needs to be in bed at the latest by 6 p.m. His sister goes to bed at the same time, my mother said. The baby, my sister, I think, was like 5 or 6 at the time. Oh no, she should be going to bed by 4. She doesn't get out of her kindergarten till 3. How does that make any sense? It's what is medically required for someone of her age. You are a neglectful parent and should have your kids taken away from you. I'm sorry, what? Your son is failing every single class, and this is why me and his principal have decided to request him to be sent to insert name of special needs school here. My mom shot back. He's failing his classes because you pull him out of his class 5 out of 8 hours of the day to teach him psychology lessons he already knows. Well, maybe it's your crappy parenting that's causing your child to fail. Don't go blaming other people for your mistake. I have to teach the class now. You can pick your son up at 4 because he has detention for lying. My mom, way too angry to respond in time, hears the click. Later, when I got home, my mom held me tightly and told me everything was going to be all right, and that she had a plan. Originally, I posted this in pro-revenge, but it got taken down for not containing pro-revenge, so I'll add my mom's plan down below. My mom had a plan. She started to teach me herself. She taught me English, math, science, you name it. I remember crying at night because it went well past 11 some nights and I just wanted to sleep. The principal ended up calling my family and told them of the special needs school himself and that the school board approved. My mom told them where they can put that school and hung up. My mom taught me English and history the best she could, but my brain can't handle those two subjects. I don't know if your schools had these, but my state, Texas, had a statewide test everyone in my grade had to do. Reading and math were the two tests everyone had to take that year, including me. Because of my autism, I was put in a separate room with all the other autistic kids, and instead of a few hours to take the test, we had all day. The reading one I can't remember too well, but didn't feel too well about it, as I remember my teacher telling me, "Don't worry, this just proves we were right about you all along." Next came math, and that test I remember very well. I remember my best friend, she also had autism, finished her test in under 15 minutes. Before you ask, yes, she bombed it. She was never good at math, and to this day, she isn't. Me, however, I finished my test 5 minutes before the end of the day. I took a full 8 hours to take one test. All that studying my mom did with me, all those painful nights of math equations and reading questions, was all worth it. The day of the tests came in, and for my class, it was different. Instead of the teacher who told us how well our class did, it was our school counselor. My teacher was confused, but my counselor said someone made a perfect score. Apparently, in the past 30 years at that school, nobody in any of the classes were able to do it. Looking back, there was only one teacher that was actually good at her job. The rest just read their books or checked their emails on the school computer. This was way before smartphones. When the counselor revealed that I got the perfect score on the math test and commended on the reading one, only missing one question, my teacher looked like she was about to pass out. The school board, after looking at my results, decided to reject the teacher's and principal's request to send me to an autistic school. They also decided I no longer needed my social classes, the psychology classes, and I got to enjoy the full 8 hours of school day for what little school we had left. I want to say it got better, but next was middle school, and it became 100 times more brutal. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a lot longer with the Pro Revenge edition, but I hope that's okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Well, I think that it's super great to see parents taking charge and helping their kids' education come full circle. I actually had a lot of help on the side when I was growing up as well, and I remember getting those satisfying math tests back. Congratulations to the OP, and I sure hope they made it out of middle school in one piece. Moving on, our next story is titled, "Inject My Son with Orange Juice." I'm currently working as a professional mental health nurse. This incident took place back when I was a student nurse and was posted in the pediatric ward. We had a boy in the general ward who had been admitted with a case of viral fever, I think. By the time I started my posting, he had been there for about 3 to 4 days. As soon as I entered the ward, the EM hounded me. "Excuse me, I've been saying the same thing over and over again, but you people just don't listen, do you?" "Well, hello, ma'am. I'm sorry. What seems to be the problem here? This is my first day here, and I don't really know." "Well, then why are you here if you don't know anything? Go back and send someone who's not as stupid as you, though I highly doubt anyone in this hospital really has a brain." "I apologize again, ma'am, but if you could just tell me what's wrong, then I might be able to sort it out." "Well, I've been telling you people for the past few days that my son doesn't like apple juice. He likes orange juice, and you should give him that. But nobody's listening to me. He's still getting apple juice, and even then it's of really bad quality." Okay, it seems that the good folks down in the kitchen have it wrong. Don't worry, ma'am. I'll consult with the nutritionist and we'll have this sorted out in no time. EM just scoffed and marched away. I talked with the nutritionist and asked why the kid was being forced to take apple juice when he didn't like it. But she told me that the kid wasn't getting apple juice. In fact, he wasn't getting juice at all. He was getting milk with almost every meal. Now, I was confused. I talked to the EM and she shouted at me how I was stupid like the rest of the staff. Just then, breakfast arrived. Sure enough, the kid had milk and not juice. "Ma'am, the nutritionist suggested milk for your kid and that's what he's getting. He's not getting apple juice." "No, you idiot. He gets that with his lunch and not breakfast." Deciding to see what the issue was once and for all, I promised her I'll come back at lunchtime to settle the issue. Lunch arrived and the kid got, you guessed it, milk. I again pointed this out to the EM and she said the kid gets an apple juice after lunch. Okay, what? I was really puzzled then. Just then, a nurse arrived to administer the afternoon medications. "See, now he'll be getting that nasty apple juice." Just then, the nurse hung a bag of saline by the kid's bedside and injected a vial of MVI, multivitamin infusion, into it and connected it to the kid's IV line. The MVI injections we had in our hospital were yellow-colored and smelled like someone just farted 3 days' worth of tacos. And that's when I had the epiphany of what had been EM's issue. And being the considerate creature she was, she confirmed my suspicions with a horrible screech. "See? I told you! Apple juice! Nasty-smelling apple juice!" I couldn't say anything. "Well, say something!" "Ma'am, that's not apple juice. It's an injection." "Don't you dare lie to me. Everybody else has been saying the same thing, but I know the truth. You people have orange juice. I've seen it. Give my son that. Put orange juice in that bag." All subsequent attempts to explain to her failed. She screamed loudly and disturbed other patients as well. The attending physician heard all the commotion and came to see what the matter was. He also tried to explain that her son was in fact being given an injection, but she refused to believe that we weren't injecting her son with apple juice and that juice couldn't be given intravenously. The doctor said, "Fine, if this is apple juice, then I suppose you wouldn't mind a taste?" And with that, the awesome doc disconnected the IV line, poured some of that nasty apple juice in a plastic cup, and shoved it under EM's nose, who promptly gagged. "Oh, please, have some juice, and we'll give your son a different one. You'll like it, I promise." Naturally, EM refused. She never asked for orange juice again, but I heard from other patients that the EM had been blabbering about suing us for injecting her son with bad quality apple juice, and then making a fool of her. And that's the true reason, folks, why Thanos wanted to eradicate us. Maybe he had one too many encounters with unhinged EPs. You really could attribute some of Thanos' quotes to Karens, couldn't you? "Dread it. Run from it. Karens arrive all the same." I'm sorry, that was super corny. But anyway, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for tuning into Life Stories. My name is Trent, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Reddit content coming your way. We got more exciting things in the works for you guys, so stick around, and I hope to see you guys soon.